Greetings and welcome to you. I am Shoshana, and today we're going to be doing an all signs poker card reading. It's been quite the time since I did a little bit of astrology, Western astrology. Make sure you check out your Chinese astrology sign on my channel. I did readings for all of the Chinese zodiacs for what to expect for 2026. So today we're going to do all 13 signs, and I have my little hat. So I was looking through my hat and I was missing a sign. So I'm going to start with the sign that I'm missing because Gemini, you're not in this hat. And I think that it makes a lot of sense with your reading because you have lost your true self. You've lost connection to your true self, or you have pushed your true self away. And it's like you've just checked out. You've shedded your skin intentionally and chosen a default identity for yourself. And in my readings, I'm very blunt, and I apologize ahead of time for being so blunt in my readings, but it's just how I do my readings. I do not channel. I do not accept downloads. I do not use tarot. I use medicine cards. I use positive oracle cards, and I like using poker cards. Poker cards, there's only 52 of them. They're completely different from anything else, and I have my own style of reading. So now that that is out of the way, Gemini, let's begin with you. Gemini, 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 Gemini. So Gemini, really good things are coming for you. Someone around you is going to get either a promotion or some kind of upgrade that is going to affect you in a positive manner. So you're going to be able to have an opportunity to save. You're going to get tempted to shop, 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 and you're being asked to save your money because everything is extremely expensive right now. And you got to save for a rainy day when you really need it. There's a lot of love and social butterflies around you. Be careful with lust. You're in love with love. And you have to be really careful because there's a group of you in here that's really flirty and has multiple crushes going on. And you have to be careful with the lust energy. You have to be careful with the multiple crush energy because you are going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt by finding out that someone that you're kind of eyeing is involved with somebody else. And you have to understand what you're putting out there to the universe. If you have just one crush, you're telling the universe that you want commitment. But if you have multiple crushes, there's multiple people dealing with multiple people. There is definitely somebody that's interested in you, or multiple people that are interested in you, but you have to be careful with being taken advantage of. You have to be careful about decisions that might be permanent. This is a good time to keep your options open. You want to keep your options open and not make any commitments without reading the fine print. Okay, so this is a warning for you about getting hurt having too many crushes. All right. So calm down that energy and bring it down to, I really like bringing it down to asexual energy, which is not being attracted to nothing and no one and just being grounded and starting from there. And then see who's the first person that pops up. Do multiple people pop up? Asking questions when you court these people or socialize date, find out who they're involved with, because my advice to Gemini is protect your heart. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next sign. I hope that was helpful for you, Gemini. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, I got two here. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? They're battling. Oh, oh, okay. We have Leo. Leo, you look at yourself in the mirror and you wonder, where has time gone? You look at your wrists, you look at your ankles, you look at your skin, and you just feel like, where has time gone? And why do you feel so small? Where has all of that resentment, for some of you, vengeance and retaliation, led you? Spitefulness, where has it led you? It has led you to being in a state of feeling crippled by your own resentment. And I tell people all the time, resentment creates decay. I am a Taoist and I practice unconditional forgiveness, unconditional love, because it keeps the resentment away, it keeps the sickness away. Have some compassion for yourself. So you see yourself as a victim in a certain situation. You see yourself as a survivor, or you might have low key victim mindset. Not to say that what didn't happen to you isn't valid, isn't traumatic, but you need to have compassion for yourself. You keep thinking, you keep convincing yourself that if you have resentment towards that situation, you will win. Who fed you that lie? Who fed you that lie that you having resentment will make you win? It doesn't make you win, it makes you sick. And the reason why I'm so adamant about this is because this is a situation that has been plaguing you for your entire life and has got worse instead of better. And I just want to shake some unconditional forgiveness into you. There are other people that have it worse. Always think about that. There are always people that have it worse. You might think that you have a horrible story, but you sit there and you sit down with the people in Sudan. You sit there with the people in Papua New Guinea, or you sit there and you talk to victims who have been through WAR, for example, not to belittle what happened to you. I know that what happened to you was traumatic, and that's the reason why you should be living a fulfilled life. And you keep asking yourself, how come I have all this money? How come I have all these multiple properties, multiple channels, multiple websites, multiple brands, multiple catalogs? I have all this, I have all that, and I'm not happy because you know why. Because you don't practice forgiveness. The forgiveness is not for the individual who harmed you, who violated you, who exploited you. The forgiveness is for yourself. It's for you. So when you look at your situation closely, it's a lack of self-love. Fundamentally, that is the core issue, is a lack of self-love. Okay, so you are feeling harmonious, or there is potential for harmony. These are just collective readings. They are not going to resonate with everybody. So naturally, you're a person of light. You're a person of high vibes and energy. But the obstacles, the obstacles feel endless. The obstacles feel, honestly, are higher than your harmonious moments. And you're tired of it. You're like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do so that the endless issues are less than the harmonious moments? What you have to do has to do with investments, investing something into the right category, investing something that you already have, using what you already have to combat these endless issues. Because think about it. Let's say you have these endless issues. These issues could be having to do with immigration, having to do with visas, having to do with tedious budgeting that's just not working out, right? But then you have these two positive things happening on the right of you and on the left of you that are not greater than the issues, but if you put them together, you have a 12. And this 12 becomes greater than your 8. So you do have a chance at overcoming your obstacles. It's like playing chess. You have to make the right move in order to win by combining your talents or combining your skills, combining your skill sets so that they generate more income than the debt and you can keep your house. Okay? That is all the messages that I have for you. You have one more question about love. So, the reason why you feel like you haven't had a clicking or satisfying relationship at a soul level is because of that self-love. It's working on that self-love. Like you can be in a relationship with somebody for 20 years and not have that self-love. And then once you have that self-love, you realize, wait a minute, this is not the person I want to be with. I have self-love now. I want somebody else that has self-love. These are just examples. These are just stories. Um, so in regards to love, people are really attracted to you. They're very, very attracted to you. You have an exotic look. Even if you're not from an exotic background, you just have this exotic look that you stand out and you have good vibes. The reason why the relationship is not feeling satisfactory or just not making the cut is because of your lack of self-love. If you already have self-love, then this is talking about increasing that self-love to increase the quality of your relationship or relationships that are potential, you know? All right, that's all I have for you. Moving along, moving along. Ooh, it's a battle in this hat. We have Aries. Hello. Hi, Aries. So let's begin. I'm liking this deck so far. Let's see if I have any intro messages for you. So honestly, I feel like you are dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. You're on loop. You're on this repetitive pattern that is a toxic cycle that has to do with self-destructive and self-sabotaging characteristics, traits, behaviors. And if you ever sit there and wonder, why isn't it coming to an end? It's not coming into an end because you're not putting it to an end. You're not making the modifications that need to be made with this circumstance that has been plaguing you. So you're coming off super strong. You're coming off as this king because you are a king, regardless of what you have or don't have. You're a king. At a soul level, you're a king. You're an emperor. You're powerful, right? So why is the king in doubt? So you're feeling like your resources are low. You're feeling like you're lacking material BS. And you are forgetting about the wealth and abundance and richness of your own soul. Your own soul, your naked body is already enough by itself. You know, it's this modern material mindset, people who are materialistic or believe that success is represented by material things that you don't die with. When we die, we go naked into our next dimension, you know, into our next world. We can't take our purse with us. You're not taking your phone with you. We might be able to take our pets with us. Um, but I feel like you might have experienced what so many other people experience at school, you know, comparison, programmed with materialistic comparison. Some people are really materialistic, and that is the dimension that they're living in. They want to stay in that state. They want to live in that plane 24/7, right? But then there's other people that are minimalists by choice. There's people who have the money to buy a car but don't want one because they don't think it's good for the planet. They think it's a nuisance. They think it's a burden to have all these bills, you know? There's people who practice having nothing, like monks that go to the mountains, the Himalayan mountains, and then decide they want to stay. Do you know what's crazy? Um, I went a really long time without the money that I needed. And I had this long list of things that I wanted, a wish list, a shopping list, a list of material things. And it's so crazy because when I finally got the money, when I got the thousands that I needed, I no longer wanted all those things on the list. I realized that I didn't need anything on that list and that I was satisfied with nothing, and that's like the true Buddhist or true Taoist mentality of being happy with nothing. I know that that's has like a metaphoric feel to it, but it's kind of like a combination of both, metaphoric and physical. You're seeing your value by material, and you're so much more than that. And you're doing yourself harm by thinking that you're worth the same as something material. Do you know what I mean? And comparing yourself to that, you know, we are all precious souls in our own unique way, and we're already perfect as we are. It is this system that put a price tag on breathing and water, you know? So be careful with judging yourself with modern eyes. Okay, so this is temporary. This feeling of lack is temporary. You're going to have either a breakthrough or a helper that is going to say, no, 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 no. Enough is enough. I'm going to grab you, Aries, by your ear, and I'm going to help you get whatever it is that you need. So, whatever that may be. It just seems like you're going to have a helper that is tired of seeing you without something, and they're just going to say, hey, you know what? I know how I can get it to you, and I'm going to give it to you. Um, this also has visa approval energy, like having a high chance in visa approval in a certain situation or battle that some of you might be going through, or a good chance in obtaining it. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to go pick those up that got. All right, I picked these up from the floor and I don't know if I want to take them because they're obstacles, they're issues. Here we have mystical issues, and here we have issues with feeling limited in options available. So that depends on you whether or not that applies to you, but those did fall on the floor. Let's do another deck. So, regardless, you have this on the deck. You have the ultimate love and success here that beats everything and matches with your fantastic energy. And okay, how interesting. So the issues continue. So things are going to be wobbly for you. Things are going to go up and down. Your issues are going to go up and they're going to go down. They're going to go up and they're going to go down. And eventually, things are going to harmonize for you. So there's no need for you to think of the worst because it seems like you have the bigger chance in winning these petty, petty little obstacles. These petty little obstacles, by the way, are interferences. They're interferences that don't want to see you happy and harmonious because that is what is already yours. Okay, so don't allow shortcomings, these little shortcomings, to make you feel overwhelmed and drop the ball, because it's the interferences that want to watch you drop the ball, and you have an amazing chance. Thank you so much for watching. All right, let's move on to the next assign. Oh, I'm already mixing up. I'm accidentally mixing the decks. All right, who's next? Ophiuchus. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Is anybody out there? You know what movie that's from? Titanic. I'm thinking of Titanic. That's like a haunting movie that they did such a great, amazing job. Like if I had to choose one movie that I think that they did the most amazing reenactment for of a true story or slight true story, is Titanic. Like they really did a good movie out of that one. I don't know. For whatever reason, that was on my mind. Let's start with this one. Do I have any intro messages for Ophiuchus? Not really, because you are like a tornado. You're just always up to something. You know, there's some people that settle. They just settle with having, like, settle for not acting on their ambitions, you know? And you're always acting on your ambitions, always. So I don't have any intro because I can't even read you. Good for you. I'm impressed. Like you're always up to something different. Regardless of your circumstances, you're always planning a war. I'm sorry. Um, I shouldn't have said that. I have to like be careful of the kind of words that I use on here because I get in trouble, and they don't they basically don't circulate channels that do any kind of healing. So, or say any kind of healing kind of words. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, like holistic community, the holistic community is seen as conspiracy theorists. So they're not circulated like regular channels. So it's fine for me because I'm trying to stay underground. I love being underground. Okay. Ophiuchus, your freaking energy. Your energy. You have endless issues. Okay. Petty issues. You might have had a breakup or on and off with your girlfriend. You're feeling harmonious by yourself. You're feeling harmonious when you're independent and isolated. You get a lot done. Your energy is all over the place. You need to be careful to stay grounded, because if you don't stay grounded, you can get locked up. You're always the one in the front lines of any kind of protest or festival that is, opposing injustice. Be careful. That's for some of you. That's for the ones in LA. Keep your options open in regards to the ladies. Until you find the one that is worth committing to. keep your options open in regards to switching careers and relocation. Don't just settle for anything. So don't go for second best, either in love, in a place to live, or a job. Do not go for second best, because if you just wait, you will land that job. You will land that house. You will land that girl. There's a lot of um like, don't settle for the wrong one kind of energy. Like, don't settle for just anything that comes to your face. Like, hold on. And whenever the best comes, or whenever the right one comes, you'll know right away that's the one. That's the one right there. Okay. And you'll have endless love with that person. Let's switch decks. When you are with this person, you're going to become a power couple, and you're going to battle all those petty issues, and you're going to increase your income together. And I think that is all the messages that I have for you. Thank you. Toodles. Okay, who's this? Who is this? We have Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. What's up? Uh-oh. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I completely forgot I had my mocha, and my mocha got all cold. It's like, you work so hard to make your hot drink during the winter. Where I'm living, it's super cold. So I'm sad. My drink got all cold. Well, not completely, but. Yeah. Aquarius, let's see if I have any intro messages for you. Well, I think that you have finally realized that people are so fake towards you. I feel like for a long time you felt like people were genuine, and you were kind of too trusting and a bit of a pushover towards them. And now you're like, Now you have a guard up that nobody is going to push back down. And it's a really healthy guard, a healthy boundary, where my readings are blunt. These are just collective readings, okay? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. I forgot I had my microphone somewhere else. So I have no idea if you heard all that. You have a successful, healthy boundary. Sorry, I have to move it one more time because I want it to be like right there. My readings are really blunt. I can't help it because there's these intense, overwhelming energies that need to be expressed. And your mindset now is trust no one. Everyone is a hater unless they prove me otherwise. Everyone is going to throw the evil eye at me unless they prove me otherwise. And you have this guard up and this boundary up, and I love it. You know, sometimes we take care of our souls without even knowing it, with these little habitual patterns, like drinking water and saying, you know what, I'm going to drink water even if I'm not thirsty because my soul needs it. And with Aquarius, I feel like you've been going inward. inward, inward. I want to say that all day long. Inward, inward, inward. Grounded, grounded, inward. You've been realizing how sacred and beautiful your time alone is. You realize how much drama people bring into your life and how much you're motivated and inspired and on fire. You're on a mission to work for yourself, and you're going to stop at nothing to get there, okay? Some signs really need to work around others. Other signs, well, okay, you know what? I'm not going to call it signs. I'm going to call it people. Some people can work around others and even needs to be around others. And other people, it destroys their life to be around others because they're empathic or hypersensitive. And Aquarius, especially the females, I don't know about the males, but I get mostly a feminine, because they're just energies. I get a mostly feminine energy having an issue with that. Needing to work on your own because there's so much that you have to clear just from one shift. Some people can work one shift, go home, and be fine. The hypersensitive people, the empath people, the sponge people, they have to, like, I'm one of those people. I have to spend hours, sometimes 4 hours, clearing other people's energy simply because I went to work. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm freaking over here clearing for 4 hours. My shift was only 3. Okay, those are your intro messages. Aquarius, you feel like you can finally express yourself now. You can finally be free. You've changed your mentality. You've changed traits. You've modified characteristics in your personality so that you're no longer a pushover, so that you're no longer giving the wrong energy, your precious energy, to others. You know, hanging out with people, getting people's phone numbers, giving people your phone number, all that drains your energy and has an impact or energetic consequences. And you are learning all of that and progressing yourself through it. And that is going to get you exactly where you want to be. And that is working for yourself, working at home, working as an entrepreneur, where you're the boss of your own precious time. I don't feel like that has happened yet, but it's on its way. And be careful with arrogance or complacency when you see the signs that things are improving, because I have to go pick up the card that flew. Okay, so in today's reading, I guess I'm taking cards that are flying. Sometimes I don't take them, but today I'm taking the cards that are flying, and you have someone younger than you that is interested in you, and you have to be careful. You have to be careful that the people that are interested in you are not just adding you to a list of candidates on their menu. So be careful with that energy. And then we were just talking about something and I forgot what it was that I wanted to say. The complacency. The card flying on the floor interrupted what I was saying. Complacency, arrogance, conceit, ego, fear. Guess what all those are? Those are all spiritual interferences. Those are all entities that use those emotions to block you when you're about to have a breakthrough. And you are headed towards one. It may not feel that way. It may feel like you're halfway there, but you're headed there. And you have to act like you're not and be humble because when you flaunt, it attracts unwanted attention. And you don't want unwanted attention to know about you and your whereabouts. This is either an ex, a dangerous ex, a warlock, a wizard, an energy vampire, a narcissist, an incubus from your past that wants or feels like you belong to them and wants to take a bite off of your soul and cause pain. Okay? Be wary of this person. Is there any way that you can block this person or make a new account? Because there's certain things that you shouldn't post. There's certain things that you shouldn't show off and that you should keep to yourself, not only for humbleness, but for protection. And there's people that wish you harm, okay? And there's a person from your past here, which is, typical, freaking typical scenario. The pathetic ex that wants to use witchcraft to hurt the person because they're improving their life without them. I'm so tired of that scenario. It's like, get over yourself, move on. You had your chance. Yeah, exactly. So they want to take a bite out of your finances. They're like, oh, half of it is mine, half of it is mine. This could be a spouse, a divorce, child support, um, legal issues. So if you remain low key, remain private, low profile, keep a low profile so that this person doesn't find out, you being protective over yourself, protection is more important than boasting. Okay? That is all the messages that I have for you. I want to keep it short because I want you to work on protecting yourself and protecting your breakthrough. Thank you for watching. Who's next? We have Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. You're another sign that you're always all over the place. Should we take those? Do you see how they fell? Okay, so you're going to come up big right off the bat. Pisces, you're coming up big. You're going to have a financial breakthrough and a love breakthrough at the same time. This could be already happening or will happen. Everything in your life is going to improve, Pisces. You're going to get everything that you desire. You have a wish list. You're going to be able to get everything on your wish list. You want a home, you're going to be able to get a home. Everything that simple needs and desires are going to be met this year, and they're finally going to feel satisfying. Your whole life, you've struggled with infidelity because you weren't satisfied with the compatibility at a soul level. So that is why Pisces has that habit of settling. You're notorious for settling for people that are convenient as opposed to actually nurturing your soul and with you on the same page. There's so many people that are married for all the wrong reasons. You know, is this person, do they believe in the same thing that they believe? Are they moral? Do they believe in source? Are they an addict? Are they in recovery? Can they understand what I've gone through? And a lot of times, the dynamics in family, you will be talking to a relative and you feel like they're a complete stranger. And you can't believe you're talking to your sister, your brother, your mother, your grandma, your children, and you're just like, who is this person? This person is like a complete stranger. I cannot, it feels like you're talking a different language. And this year, it seems like all of that is going to finally change and you're going to have everything that you were meant to have. That is the feeling that I get for you. And of course, this wants to come out. Everything is energy, everything is energy. People want to judge, like religious extremists, they want to judge and they don't understand that everything is energy and their own judgment is hate as well. It's like they're religious, but your judgment and your constant judging of others represents hate, you know? And everything is energy. And every time something is perfect, what comes with perfection? Issues. Every time there's only issues, what comes with issues? A hidden blessing, a miracle. It's like nothing can stay the same. Nothing can stay good. Nothing can stay bad. Things have to shift around. Opportunities have to open the door. It's life, it's energy. So it's funny how there's people who attack the holistic community, for example, who are religious fanatics, yet don't understand energy. They don't even understand the essence of their own being, yet they judge a holistic community, for example. Um, I don't know why I feel called to say that. Maybe somebody's going through something similar where they're feeling attacked by someone who doesn't understand their ways. And it's like, who are you to judge someone's diet? As long as you're not a freaking cannibal, who are you to judge someone's diet? Um, like there's families. Oh God, I don't know. I'm just getting like vegan arguments, vegan argument vibes, and just discord in the family. Okay, for whoever is dealing with that. Okay, so a bunch of good things happen: romance, finances, house, everything, all your ducks in a row. And then here come the issues. The issues are not higher than the blessings. Remember that. The issues are not higher than the blessings. The blessings are higher. The heavenly blessings are higher than your issues. You can overcome them. You can confront and overcome those issues. They're probably going to be, they're either going to be financial issues or adding a roommate, helping increase the household income. I think I'm going to put this one back because I wasn't focused when I was shuffling those. Pisces. I just want to see what's going on with you. Lack of commitment. Are you going to get attacked because of your lack of commitment? Ooh, are you going to get attacked because you refuse to settle and get married? Settle down, I mean. Like, why does it seem like if you're a man that you're getting attacked because you refuse to get married? You're getting attacked because you don't want to have kids. You're getting attacked because you won't get her a ring. And you've been with her for so long. And it's just so funny and amusing to me because who out of all people? You. Of course it's you. It's always you. Okay, for whoever that was for, I don't know what to tell you, but the same redundant thing that I tell you for every other reading is don't settle. The one that you want is not available. So that's why you're with number two, or that's why you've been with number two for the past decade, because your number one was not available. They did not like the encounter that they had with you. You were friends. No, you were crushes, then friends, then had an encounter. They feel like that sexual encounter ruined the friendship. And that's why, that never worked out and probably never will. So I see your dilemma for that one group. So it's like some of you, this is so messed up. Some of you don't want to get married just in case your number one is ever available again. So staying not committed for those of you that are is wise because you don't want to commit. You don't want to get married to somebody who's a number two. So sorry. But it's a Pisces reading. Somebody always gets hurt during a Pisces reading. Always. Because Pisces, you're the biggest heartbreaker. Pisces and Leos. Pisces, Leo, Scorpions are all the biggest heartbreakers. I might as well throw Sagittarius on there. I'm just joking. But Pisces, you've always been the biggest heartbreaker because you express yourself in the most divine manner to people. Um, Pisces men are very honest with their feelings, honest with their emotions, honest with what they're thinking at that moment. And when they're around the right person, they don't keep secrets. And that's what Pisces really ultimately wants is they want to find that one person that they can tell all their secrets to. And it ends up being, I don't know why I want to say, I'm not going to say it. That is pretty much all the messages that I want to say. I don't know how to close your reading because you're in a pickle and it's just a pickle that you're going to have to figure out. You're like, "No, but wait, I want to know more. I want to know about, that one person who it ruined the friendship." It's just that you weren't meant to be with that person. Sometimes you're not meant to be with that number one because that number one is meant to be with somebody else where the romantic interaction does not ruin the friendship. And the reason why it didn't work out with that one person is because they're meant to be with somebody else, which they all already are with, um, either physically or spiritually, that the intimacy does not ruin the friendship. That's how you know that someone is meant to be with you because the intimacy makes the friendship grow closer as opposed to further. And you felt it go further because that wasn't the right one. Do you know what I mean? I hope that helps. I have to move on to the next sign. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Okay, let's see. Do I have any intro messages for you? You're having a really, really hard time coping with life. Are you having a hard time coping with life, or is it just seasonal depression? Or does your apartment, your house, not get enough sunlight? Okay, don't over dramatize your diagnostics. Don't over dramatize yourself. You know, don't re-traumatize yourself. Don't bring back old memories, old habits, old characteristics and traits. Okay, you know better. You know better. Those are your intro messages. So, right from the beginning, we have temptation. Ooh, this temptation is sizzling. It's oozing. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Ask for God to help you. Resist temptation. Help me stay sober during my recovery. Help me with my sanity. Help me with this. Help me with that. Because you're going to have a breakthrough in either romance or an opportunity that's near and dear to you. Something is going to, it's not necessarily financial, or, we can find out if it is, but You know, when you get good news, you get happy and you get motivated. And it doesn't matter if you have the money or not. You're spending that money when you're motivated, right? That's what's going to happen here. You're going to get some good news, and this good news is going to tempt you. It's going to tempt you to indulge. And I'm not joking when I tell you to ask God to help you, because just saying those words, there's power in that. There's acknowledgement, there's this covering where Source grounds you so you don't lose your blessing because of a temptation having to do with indulgement or celebration or promotion, something put in your face. You know, an example can be, oh, guess what? I'm giving you a promotion. Here's a glass of champagne. And you take that glass of champagne and you tell yourself, this is all that I'm going to have. This is all I'm going to have. You drink it all, and then 3 days later, you wake up and there's a bunch of empty scotch bottles everywhere, and you have no idea what happened. And your tie is still on your neck. Your office, your office uniform is still on, and you're just like, what happened? The last thing I remember is drinking some champagne because someone told me I had a promotion. That's the vibes that this has. Okay? So be careful with that. It's like if a child is trick-or-treating and they have their two hands here for the candy, once you get the candy, don't separate your hands and turn them over. That is your advice, Sagittarius. I told you. I told you. I'm happy for you. I'm so happy for you. It's like you're opening up your own shop, or there's success in a goal that you've been working on for a really long time. You're getting married, even pregnant, even not having to work anymore, transitioning into work from home, or almost, actually, I don't want to say the word almost because there's a sense of completion here. There's a sense of inevitability. It's inevitable. You're going to be able to finally express yourself the way that you want, and you're going to be able to do what you want to do. Before, like, let's say the past couple of years, you were blocked and you were unable to do this, that, and the other. You were unable to express yourself. There were all these issues, and those issues are going to come tumbling down, and you're finally going to be able to express yourself in the manner that you want, in the manner that you had intended years ago. And for years, it did not lock in, and finally, it's locking in now after so much pain, after so much delay. Things are finally going to go your way. You don't want to lose it all by indulging. Okay? On this channel, I tend to focus on people who want to stay sober from non-holistic substances. So that's why I'm always very overprotective of people who have breakthroughs, because I know what comes with that. And breakthroughs always come with temptation and spiritual interference that wants to come and take away everything. And it can do so quickly if you let it. And that's why you always have to be aware and grounded, especially you, because it's very difficult for you. It's very difficult for you to resist temptation. I know. I know. It's very difficult for you. You tend to make excuses and lies. Let's see, that's blue. Um, you tend to make excuses and lies to convince yourself that something that you know you're not supposed to be doing, you can get away with for that day. Um, so be more honest with yourself and know that that's going to come with the sacrifice. Exactly. It's going to come with the sacrifice. So this abundance, this blessing, this miracle, this upgrade, this promotion is going to come with temptation. Okay. Resisting that temptation is going to come with the need to sacrifice a couple of down days. There are some days that you're going to feel down. You're going to feel bored. You're going to feel tempted. You're going to feel triggered to go back to binging and being who you truly are, because that's what you tell yourself. You're like, I want to be free. And when I drink for days and days, I am free. Or are you? Is that really your true identity? So some of you struggle. You have an identity crisis. And this identity crisis is a valid. It has to do with who you are when you're sober and who you are when you're using. And that is not for beginners. Let me tell you, it is not for beginners. It is an advanced recovery level when you get up there. When you have been sober for so many years, it gets easy, it gets harder. It gets easy, it gets harder, right? But then you get to that level that splits two identities. And you realize that you are a completely different person while using and a completely different person when you're sober. That is going to come with days of feeling void, feeling a heavy, dreadful burden void. And that void is going to make you want to drink and become who you truly are. But that's the lie you tell yourself. So the sacrifice that you have to make is to go through the inevitable suffering that is part of the human process for a couple of days, and you will feel better. Eventually, you will get out of that bad mood. But if you relapse and you go back to binging, you're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel shame. Your nightmares are going to come back. Your insomnia is going to come back. And for those of you who don't have that issue, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that do. And even the ones who have been sober for a long time, there could be a different kind of temptation that you face, such as a temptation to act an old way or to react in an old way that is not productive towards your journey of taking control of your emotions. I do see tremendous progress here from a couple of years ago, you know. Um, it's very interesting to see the collective energies in Western astrology and how they're so similar and how it just works for groups. It just, like, usually what one group is going through, all the other groups are going through at that time. And when times change, so does the situation for the collective group as a whole. You know what I mean? So it's just very interesting. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep your reading at that. Oh, I just dropped that one. Sagittarius. I just dropped this on the floor. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is also part of your reading. Don't do that. Don't drop your blessing. You're going to get a blessing, a very large blessing. Don't drop it and lose it, because let me tell you, the guilt and the shame that you're going to feel after losing it is going to be unbearable. Thank you for watching. Okay, who is next? Cancer, 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 Cancer. Why do I feel like I want to scold you right from the beginning? Your intro message is I want to scold you. Who are you scolding? Are you scolding people? Oh, who's been expressing themselves? You. Oh, okay. So, Cancer. Let me take a sip of my cold mocha. All right. You have been expressing your anger towards somebody. You've been expressing your anger towards people. You've been expressing your unsatisfactory feelings towards a domestic situation, perhaps, or a divorcee. Or you've just been yelling at everybody in the house about money because you're tired of everybody relying on you for money. People need to get a job. The man in the house is not working. You're having to work and do everything by yourself. That's why I want to scold you. I wanted to scold you in the beginning because it's always you keeping the harmony in the house. Why are you letting these people do this to you? These are just collective readings. It's not going to resonate with everybody. I just scan the collective story that is highlighted for the day. For some of you, you want to be in peace with your lover. For some of you, you just want to be in peace with your person and you're tired of all the drama. And there is drama. For some of you, you're causing the drama. For some of you, you and your spouse are the problem. And you're playing the victim, you know, like sometimes warlocks will play the victim when they're the ones that caused the tornado. Like married warlocks. Okay, like don't go messing around and then wondering why things come back now. You can't wish harm against people. You have to wish people well. When a bunch of things are going horribly wrong, it's a symptom for wishing people harm. It's not all the time, not all the time, but I do have a friend who things are always going really bad for them. And I think that it's because they're always judging people and they're always wishing people harm and they're always jealous of people. And I don't judge her. I don't judge her because we grew up together and we came from really dysfunctional backgrounds and we all have our dysfunction. We all came to this earth to heal our dysfunction and help others heal and, you know, to serve and do public service. So what was my point? My point is that things come back around and you can't, for the group that is like a married warlock group, you can't play the victim when you try to violate people's free will. Okay? Very interesting. What's going on? What's going on? These are just collective readings. They're not going to resonate with everybody. Did I say that already with you? So good things are coming your way. Good things are coming your way. Opportunities to modify your character. Opportunities for solutions, for harmony in the household. Very strange reading. Somebody feels like they cannot express themselves, like the person you're arguing with. There's just a lot of people here. Some people living in a city where there's not a lot of job prospects. I have to go pick that card up. It's the Jack. Okay. We have the Jack of Diamonds. There's a big need for you to smudge your house. And I'm pretty sure I've told you this before. Smudge your house, get some incense coal, incense burning coal, and smudge your house with frankincense and myrrh. Good quality kind, not the cheap stuff. Because there's a lot of changes. There's a divine intervention that needs to happen for cancers. That's all the message that I have for you. Sorry about that. They're going to be like, what in the world? Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. I might need a little intermission here. How many signs do we have left? We still have quite the few. So I'm going to do Scorpio, and then I'm going to I need to plug in my charger now. Okay, hi Scorpio. We are back. Do I have any intro messages for you? No, I do not. I do not have any intro messages for you today. We're just gonna start. Okay, so sorry, let me modify my mic. If you are a male, your main focus is a lady. If you are a lady, you're coming in strong. You have people interested in you, but you're not interested in them. You have understood that being with the wrong person can destroy your life and bring you endless issues and heartache. So you've learned to be more independent and empower yourself. Put energy and healing and recovery into yourself instead of idolizing or romanticizing codependency, which is an impeccable breakthrough for Scorpion. Bravo! You've conquered a very advanced level in Buddhism and Taoism, which is overcoming the desire of codependency, overcoming that desire to the point where you don't even desire it anymore and you just desire to be independent and powerful as an individual that may or may not date. There's that big difference. I'm very happy to see that for you, Scorpions. I really, really am. So that is going to help you. That action is going to help you with your relationship with people and overall. So as you improve yourself, you improve the quality of the relationships that come into your life to help you, platonic relationships that come and help you. A lot of people come from backgrounds where they didn't get what they needed from their mother or they didn't get what they needed from their father. So making adjustments into self improvement actually attracts mother and father figures into your life, which is what you need, what we all need. We all have that parent that gave us nothing or that gave us problems or endangered us. And there's nothing wrong with having mother and father figures in our life to help us live a harmonious life, as well as to help us get on our feet, whenever we need help financially or loans, having that, having those figures help in growing your financial situation for whoever that is meant for. Okay. In regards to love, because Scorpions are always interested in love, for the single ones, you will find your love at work. The more jobs, the merrier. So if you have 3 jobs, that's better than having 1 job. Or if you have 2 part-time jobs, it's better than having 1 full-time job. And meeting people at work is where I feel this is like a triple validation here. Meeting people at work, that is where you will meet what you're looking for. You're looking for someone that represents the progress that you've made. That's why you're not supposed to go towards past people. Some signs have a really bad habit. I'm going to call them out. Cancers, Tauruses have a really bad habit of going towards the past people, and you're just wasting time. You've worked so much on yourself that it changes. Every time you work on yourself, it changes the quality of people that you attract. Okay? So, not to say, for those of you who really loved an ex, it's not to say that the ex was not a good person or the ex was not growing as well. It's not to belittle your past, to take it personal in that way. I do feel like there's a group of you in here that's really raw about their ex. And you want to know, like, wait, why can't both of us progress and grow together? Because not everyone is meant to. Some exes are meant to grow with other people. And when that happens, that means that you're meant to grow with someone else. It's more of a lessons thing. It's like during those years, you were made to go through certain lessons, and that person was the best person for you at that time. But now you're meant to be with someone who matches who you've grown into, and they are meant to be with someone who matches what they have grown into. It's not to be taken personally, okay? Because I know how it is. I understand. Um, does that mean that I think it's never going to work out between you and your ex? No. I just think that people have a hard time communicating honestly in this generation. And if people were to communicate more honestly, then that would eliminate a lot of problems. I don't really have any other messages for you. Till next time, let's go ahead and move right along. We have Taurus. Hi, Taurus. Hello, hello. Actually, let's start with you. Do I have any intro messages for you? Let's see. I don't. It's so funny how I have an intro message for some and not others. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Okay, so you're coming on strong. Taurus females, you're coming on strong. Taurus males, you're coming off as wanting to get work done. Working for a successful company, getting your money, getting your car, getting your house, getting your ducks in a row. You're not trying to BS around. You're trying to go full throttle. You're trying to go full time in all aspects of your life. Like you don't understand part-timers. This could just be a metaphoric, it doesn't have to be physical um language. These are just collective readings. It's not going to resonate with everybody. You don't have no time to mess around. Like you're trying to be a boss, marry a boss, be a boss, on your way to get a boss that's going to be a boss with you. It's like those kind of vibes. And so far it has not been happening. All right? It has not been happening because you've been falling for people that are meant to be with somebody else. It's like it feels like a curse. I know it feels like a curse, and you're just like, oh my God. Like, why do I keep falling for people that are meant to be with somebody else? And it happens. It happens. Sometimes it takes years to finally be with that person that is meant to be with you. And I think that year is this year. I think that all those people that you considered in your past would never have understood what your future person is going to understand about you. I really feel like the person that is meant to be with you and that is going to give you everything that your heart desires is of your ethnicity, of your country, your state, your city. And if they're not your ethnicity, they're like the same religion. But for the most part, I feel like the same nationality, the same city, the same town, the same village, same culture. That's the one that you are going to end up with that is going to help you with the heartache of getting your heart broken by people who either cheated or simply loved other people. I get those vibes. I really do. I've got those vibes for you for about 6 months. I've got these vibes that Taurus is finally going to find somebody that is endearing, that endears you, like somebody that brings out the softness in you that you thought would never come back out because you had a bad experience in the past where you tried to show your soft, fluffy side to somebody and that person wasn't meant to be with you. So you closed off. And once again, there's someone that is eventually going to come forward that you may or may not have met. I have no idea if you have met this person yet. Um, Sometimes it's unclear because they're collective readings at such a large group. The person that is going to eventually settle down with Taurus is going to take care of Taurus. Do you see? And you have to be careful that they're not younger. Anybody younger is going to want to toy with you. Anybody younger, I feel, is going to waste your time. That is for just a group of you. Don't worry. That's just for a certain group of you. You know who you are. I'm not talking to everybody. That's just this one. Oh, I'm not going to take that one, but it wanted to come in. So I'm going to be honest. Somebody wanted to attack you from your past. There was an attacker, but then it was put back into the deck. And then this one just kind of slipped out. So they kind of canceled each other out. So there is protection. You are protected. You are protected from an attack attempt that was made. I have to pick up that card, sorry. Okay, and then we have this one. So you have to be careful about somebody younger than you taking advantage of your success, taking advantage of your stability, taking advantage of your security. I don't know why I want to say this, but the one that is meant to be for you is going to take care of you. This is not for all signs. This is just for Taurus's current reading. Like, this does not apply to all the other readings. I get this really strong feeling that you shouldn't waste your time with the younger one that is going to want to take advantage of you financially and through stability, and go for the one that wants to take care of you and alleviate your burdens. The one that wants to alleviate your stress. The one that's like, put your feet up. Take your socks off. Let me rub your feet. Give me your feet. Put your feet on my thighs. And stop resisting. That's the one that you need to choose if you're having a dilemma between the two, if there's two. Okay, so you're having mystical issues. Mystical issues. Some of you are having mystical issues because you're dealing with the young one that you shouldn't be dealing with. That Okay, so the reason why you're having mystical issues is because of ongoing witchcraft. And all of that is going to harmonize in its own time. It just has to process. You know how there's a processing time? Oh my Lord, have mercy. So let me tell you what's going on. There's movement in your life that is bringing obstacles that need to constantly be cleared. And you cannot take your attention away from these obstacles because these obstacles are associated with witchcraft from your past, having to do with a warlock. The warlock was blocked, but you have somebody else from your past. Well, I don't know if this person is from your past. This person is somebody who, like, they're like a mystery person. There's a mystery person that wants to harm your stability. So you have here domestic stability, your current industry of choice, stability, harmonious life, a harmony, protection, and excuse my bluntness, somebody wants to see you in ruin. I get single vibes for most Tauruses. Like, you're not even committed to nobody. The person who is meant for you, I feel, is coming this year. I don't like the way that sounds. Coming this year. It sounds so cliche, but that's what I get from your reading is like this year you're going to get an offer from someone worthy. You are going to constantly have to do return spells on anybody who wishes you harm because you have one that attempted to do you harm and was blocked and you were protected from, but then you have somebody else. So you have a warlock and you have who is this person that is attacking you? You have a female that is attacking your finances, okay? This might be somebody in your town. This might be somebody in your neighborhood. This could be your neighbor next door. There's somebody that is throwing witchcraft at your finances and your harmony and your peace of mind. They this feels like outsider. No, not outsider. That's not the word I'm looking for. Um like when you move into a neighborhood and it's obvious that you're the new one and the people in that neighborhood have lived there longer than you have. Some people in that neighborhood have been there for 20 years longer than you. That's the vibe this is giving. This is giving like an old, miserable neighbor that hates that you always have jewelry, that you always have a nice purse, that you always have a nice coat, that you always have a nice scarf, that you always have a nice ride, that you always are carrying grocery bags. And this miserable neighborhood has nothing in their cabinet but flour and oil. So they're going to use the little tools that they have to throw something on you. Whether it's working, that's your question. You're trembling right now. You know who this person is. And whether it's working on you, it was in the past, but now that we're talking about it, it's getting pushed off. And you need to work on doing return spells against everyone, anyone, anything wishing you harm. At the same time, you have to take full responsibility for your own actions, just like we do in divine forgiveness practices. Every day we have to do divine forgiveness practices, because it not only releases resentment towards others, but releases us of any guilt or shame that we might have or carry. When there is an attacker like that, it's very important to stay on a positive path. You stay on a positive path and you clear out those energies, as well as being very disciplined in thinking of how we attracted that. I know so many people hate when people say that. I get it. When What did you do to attract that? I know, I know, I know. But somewhere in our past, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we could have seen a happy family that we never had and looked at them with harm and thinking, oh, look at that happy family over there. And that family could have, something bad could have happened to that family because of that thought. They could have got late to the show. They could have all been driving to a show that they had been saving up for. That's why we're not supposed to judge, everyone's journey, because we don't know what people have gone through. They could have been saving up for months to go to this amazing concert. And because of your negative thought, or jealousy towards the perfection of their family and how they're wearing clothes that match, and they could have been late for that show and missed the show and been stuck in traffic because you caused a kind of congestion. These are just examples. I'm not attacking you. I'm just giving you an example of what we as people, normal humans, what we can do is, um, by just having a negative thought, we have to take responsibility over not having those kinds of thoughts. Okay, so that's all that I have for you. I need to pause this for 1 second. Moving on to the next side. So we have, how many left? Three? Wow, okay. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Where do I begin with you, Virgo? Virgo, I am so worried about you. You are so unhinged. And you keep it a secret. And you need to be careful with taming the beast. Okay? Don't indulge the beast. Don't pet the beast. You're supposed to rebuke it. Rebuke it. Avoid it. Okay? You need to become like the Buddha. Virgo, be like the Buddha. Those are my intro messages for you. Okay, right off the bat, you want commitment, you want love, you want a relationship, you want a relationship where you live together. Oh, I have to pick up that card. I think it was an ace. Yes, it was an ace. Look at that. Is that not what we just said? So this is what you want. You want a partner to live with. You know, the status of the world gives you anxiety. You understand the concept of two people's income, two people who love each other, helping the unit. I need to adjust this. It's cold and I don't like when it's not on a soft spot. It has to be on a soft, fluffy spot. Okay, Virgo. It's still winter where I'm living. So some of you are going to be moving to a better house, a better apartment this next couple of months, like when school's over, when the semester's over, and you're on a tight budget where you need to save for a rainy day like never before. Okay? You're going to be very happy with yourself. Take care of your future self. Everything that you do, no matter what. What would my future self appreciate if I do right now? And think of your future self. Getting things done, organized ahead of time. Whatever you experienced in the past that made you feel unstable emotionally is going to iron itself out. It's not going to feel like that in the beginning. It's going to feel like the constant lack continues, even though there's good things happening in the background and you're expressing yourself more. You're learning how to be a minimalist and not need or desire what you used to need. There are addictions that continue to try to take over your life, and you have to be careful with talking to strangers online. You have to be careful with your data. You have to be careful with your identity. You have to be careful with viruses, both physical and cyber. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay? You're going to have good things coming your way this year. People who owed you money are going to pay you back with interest, and you're going to have what you've always wanted and then some, as long as you work on your addictions and clear them, because your addictions can destroy your life. And this is happiness, blessings, commitment. This is all the potential for this year, is this beautiful energy. Why would you contaminate it with the work of the devil? Okay? Stay off negative websites and don't allow negative things to drain your life. You will most definitely have people that are going to be interested in dating you, so you want to make sure that you are representing the true identity of who you truly want to be as a person that practices how to be humble even when nobody is around. I don't know why that's your message. Okay, let's move on along. Who is this? We have Cappy. I was wondering when you were going to come out, Capricorn. Cappies, Cappies, Cappies. Do I have any intro messages for you? No, I don't. The reason why I don't have any intro messages for you is because there's so much emotions that Capricorn has been going through that have been unprocessable, and you can't put it into words. So that's the reason why I don't have an intro for you, because it's like, where do I even begin? So that's why I like using cards, because the cards help me choose a topic. And what's the topic? Of course. Of course this is the topic. Capricorns are sick and tired of people being jealous of them. Capricorns are sick and tired of the evil eye. Capricorns are sick and tired of sacrificing themselves for everyone. They're tired of fighting this spiritual battle on a daily basis, every day, clear, clear, every day, night and day, morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, clear, clear, clear. All this clear, and Capricorn is like, I don't remember when I signed a paper to be on this repetitive loop of utter insanity in the middle of this geopolitical madness. And yet I can't find anybody to help me or even be on the same page or even communicate a single word or vowel. You feel like everyone around you is a degenerate. And whenever you meet somebody who is not that, you appreciate them so much. And those are the only kind of people that you want around you, are people who are woke spiritually, people who have a clue on the status of the world, and you are allergic to Kool-Aid and Kool-Aid drinkers, and you're just shocked that so much can happen and people still be blind as bats. So you haven't been feeling very well. Not because you're not capable of being extremely happy by yourself, but because you're sick and tired. And you're not sick and tired physically. You're not physically sick and tired. You are spiritually sick and tired. And because you're sick and tired spiritually, it trickles down and becomes physical exhaustion, but it's not physical exhaustion. You're actually restless and been having insomnia issues because you're so well rested that you have energy to do so much, but that so much can't be done because people are not speaking your language or understanding how to be on the same page. And that baffles you because you feel like it's one plus one kind of problems. I, Capricorn. So there's either been a breakup in your relationship or a lack of commitment in your love life. Most Capricorns are single right now, but have somebody that is madly in love with them. You have somebody that wants to take care of you, wants to bring you in and take care of you emotionally, financially, intimately. And some of you are dealing with, oh, I don't even know what to label this person. You're dealing with either law issues, court issues, a negative warlock, government issues. So this could be anybody. So don't go crazy thinking that it's, this or what or that. This could represent um, your government putting its own people at risk kind of energy and you wanting to leave the country but feeling like you can't afford it. Going through Ulysses syndrome. Tell me about it. So your financial situation is going to improve by your own hard work throughout the next couple of weeks and months. And you're just going to continue to feel upset. You're going to continue to feel disappointment towards people. Actually, let me keep that there. What are these? Blue? Let's do some red. So as you save enough to get away from a government issue or some kind of, I'm feeling government. I'm feeling really like government and law for this. Some of you a negative warlock, but for most of you, I feel like this is involving the law and the laws. Immigration laws, immigration restrictions, things of that nature. Okay. So eventually, when all is said and done, you're going to have the funding required to make your move. It may not be your number one choice. It might be your plan B in regards to travel because the first one kind of fell out in points. But you're eventually going to be able to move out of a difficult situation in the next couple of months and finally find the harmony that you intended, but it just didn't happen. You're learning to be flexible. You're learning to be patient. You're learning to not get angry anymore about issues like you used to. You're letting them just roll off of you like rain on a duck feather. And when things feel more harmonious, that is when you will have your commitment. The commitment is not happening right now because there's certain things that need to be cleared. There is a long distance energy vibes here where you and your person might be in a long distance dynamic and they, what is this? This one, I don't know if I should bring it over because I don't know if it flipped over during your reading or not. Oh my gosh, Capricorn. So I completely forgot about the microphone, and I have no idea if you heard me. I really hope that you did. And I can't believe that this is happening for Capricorn's reading. Out of all signs, it has to happen to you. And you know me, I'm so superstitious about everything. And there's somebody that is in love with you. And it's like you never got the message. It has that vibe of somebody making a confession. And the phone was on mute the whole time. So if you didn't hear your reading, which I really hope you did, because I had the microphone on the floor. I had to pause it and I put the microphone on the floor and I completely forgot about it. So I'm crossing my fingers that you heard your reading. Oh dear. And I don't even know how long I had the microphone on the floor for. So I'm going to have to go back. I just think it's so funny. Um, so you're going to be able to express yourself freely to your person once the commitment is established. Okay. um, and you're going to be very happy and satisfied, and you're going to, have your happily ever after. That is going to have to depend on you being a little flexible because you might not end up in your plan A location. You might have to go into your plan B and, eventually have the relationship that you want that was worth the wait. Okay, that's all that I have for you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next sign. And we have a Libra. You're the last one today. I like doing the hat. I like doing the hat because it makes it have no pressure. I have no pressure when I do the hat. It's just whoever wants to come out, comes out. Okay, all right, let's do Libra. Libra. What are my intro messages for you? You're doing a great job at staying healthy. You're doing a great job at your routine. You're doing a great job at self-improvement. But, I have a but. But are you settling, Libra? Just because you're having a healthy routine does not mean that you're not settling. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A hamster goes on a hamster wheel and he gets his exercise, but does that mean he's going anywhere? I feel like you're in a similar situation. I'm going to put this one back. The king wanted to come out, but I'm going to put them back because I wasn't done with the intro. Um, Make sure that whatever you're doing in your life, you're actually going somewhere. Because I feel like you're getting tempted to settle and resort. And are you sure that's the kind of year or life you want to have? A life of resorting? A life of just living where you settled as opposed to where you actually want at least a plan B location? There's like your fantasy. Everybody has their fantasy plan A. And then there's their plan B, and then there's their plan C. And you're not in any of those plans. You're just in kind of where for most of you, the same place that you grew up. That's just for some of you, but let's go ahead and start. Let's start with this one here. Libra, Libra, Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. You have people that are interested in making a commitment because you're changing your energy and you're realizing that you have to be more positive. And that is bringing candidates. Your menu is growing. You're getting offers for promotions. You're getting money, 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 money. And with money comes opportunities. For some of you, so there's two groups of you. There's a group of you that's in a commitment. There's a group of you that is not. But both of you are gonna get monies and you're gonna get an opportunity. What are you going to do with your money? Are you going to change your life? Are you going to modify your life? Are you going to travel? What you going to do? Are you going to make changes or are you going to choose the same loop? Are you choosing the same repetitive cycle? The safe things? Are you going to take any risks? It seems like you're choosing to work on your finances. You're happy with your current industry. You're happy with your current job. You're committing to your work right now and you don't mind staying where you are. My messages are not always physical. Sometimes my messages are just metaphoric or spiritual messages. And then you have love, love, love. So you have these two beautiful things. I feel like we can't suffer forever. And Libra, you've been suffering for such a long time. For so many years, you have felt unfulfilled. And finally, this year, there's going to be an opportunity for an increase in income and an increase in love. And it's about time. And for those of you who do get the increase in love, are going to get commitment with it. And for those of you who are single, are going to feel happy being single and being single by choice. Be careful with your shopping problem. Be careful with overspending. Be careful with fruitless purchases in order to grow your savings for when you get inspired to make that big move. For others of you, make sure that you are not spending so that you have the funds to fund your marriage ceremony. Like some of you might be getting married in a couple months or whenever, and like don't spend what you're not supposed to spend. I'm gonna reshuffle that because if you will regret it, okay? You will regret it. Don't spend anything. So the message for Libra is don't spend your riches because you might need your riches to make that big move sooner than you thought. You know, a lot of us are not wanting to move abroad for a couple years, 5, 10 years. And then we realize, wait a minute, I need to actually go sooner because there's endless issues under this horrible GOV. Okay, so those are the kind of vibes that I have. What are the messages for you? The messages for you is be careful who you give your money to because you might not get that amount again for a very long time. And it's important to be logical and responsible with your survivor skills, your survivor skills during these times. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye.